All right. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode of Smart TV. I am Curtis Howe here to help you with your online marketing and social media. We love helping you make sure that you can use social media effectively to help you grow your business. Today we want to talk about your customers. This is an extremely important part of your business, is dealing with your customers. And so one of the things that you've got to realize about this is talking to your customers is very, very important. I know a lot of businesses don't necessarily like the idea of talking with their customers any more than they have to get the things done that they need to do for a sell. But the reality is keeping in touch with your customers, working with them, getting feedback, understanding them is so important in business. In fact, today I would say that it's probably the biggest competitive advantage that you can gain over everybody else is talking with customers, because very few businesses actually are talking with their customers. So this is a way that you can gain an advantage and get ahead of everybody. So let's talk more about these today. So if you have questions about this, use our hashtag SMRTTV to ask those questions, or reach out on the live streams and ask those as well. We'll be more than happy to answer those for you and help you out with that. So I have come across a few statistics and a few other things I thought was interesting to help in understanding why talking to your customers is so important. So this just makes such a difference to make sure that you stay in touch with your customers. One of the biggest reasons that it's good to stay in touch with your customers is because of negative reviews, negative feedback or things that are going wrong about your business. Those kinds of things are very, very important to make sure that you have the ability to work with your customer base. And I have a graphic that should show up here in just a second. So negative feedback is something you want to keep an eye on social media. Do searches for your business. Look for people complaining about your business. If you have a social presence, oftentimes people will come to your social sites to complain or let you know of negative feedback, which is good. You really want to encourage that. You want to make sure that they know that they can come and express their opinions and ideas at your site, so that you can learn and gain information and insight into your business from them. And every business has those bad days. Every business has those times where things don't work quite as well. And so you want to know about those. And you want to hear that from your customers so that you can fix it. You can resolve those concerns and deal with those things and work with that customer better. Those are all great things that you can do to help in improving the opportunities to work with a business and or work with your customer, have your business grow. So look at that, because negative feedback does make a big difference. And ignoring feedback doesn't work. Ignoring the negative feedback or trying to prove somebody wrong is not a good way to handle it. Okay, I do understand that there are some times where you will experience situations where the feedback is unwarranted, like you've got somebody trolling you on social media, or something like that, or a customer is putting up bad information because they believe that you have done something bad to them when in fact you haven't. And that does happen. We see that all the time for our clients, and that is something that we just address and work with them on. So we did let's see, I think it was about 2 months ago, we did a video on that, so go look it up on YouTube. And you can see our video on how to handle negative customer reviews that come in, or how to handle even trolls on your social media as well. So it does happen where people are unfounded in their negative claims. The thing is if you're not on social media, if you're not looking for this information, if you're not actively being willing to seek it, then you're letting them control the conversation online about your business. So being out there and looking for that is important, and encouraging people to leave that. Most of the time, if you do a really good job of working with your customers, then most of the time you're not going to have any issues. So you should be getting majority of the reviews that you get are positive reviews. So that's very, very important. Now, the other thing to consider is that those positive reviews do balance out with those negative reviews. So if you have a couple negative reviews, but a lot of really positive reviews that are legitimate from your real customers, that's great. That's going to help you in your opportunities to connect with more people that way. So just realize that that's an important part of it as well. Another great thing that's good to have for your business as well is feedback. gaining feedback from your customers, and this is a little different than reviews. You want specific feedback from your customers about your service, the employees, how did they treat you, about products, did they like the products, what do they wish was different, what did they not like about the service or products. So you want to seek some specific feedback from them, because that's going to help you understand where are the weak points, where are the things that are causing problems for your customers, and how can you overcome that so that you can have a better experience for your customers next time they work with you. And this is huge. This is absolutely huge. When you work on this with your customers, then you're going to make a big difference, because the more you can put that information into practice, the more you can get that feedback and turn it around and turn it into something that's going to work, the better. Really, it does make such a big difference. In fact, there was a story I heard many years ago of a grocery store who wanted to improve their customer service and their relationship with the community which they were in. And so they actually created a community council. So they brought people in who were shoppers, people that would shop at that grocery store, and people in, and they would actually feed them lunch. They had a little catering from their departments, from deli and things would come together. They would feed these people lunch, and they would ask them, what do you like about this? What do you don't like about this? What do you wish was different here? And they would seek specific feedback from these people. And then they would take that feedback and incorporate it into improvements in their store to help them make sure that they are meeting the needs of the community that they serve. And one of the things that came out of that was actually this lady had come up with an idea about their seafood. They offered seafood. She enjoyed, she liked buying seafood to go home and cook it, but the way they had it displayed and did things was terrible. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. So they weren't selling a lot of it. It didn't look appealing. And so she complained about this in one of these monthly things. And every month, they would rotate who was on this council. So 2 or 3 people would stay for a couple months, and then they just kind of rotate through. And it was really cool to get more people involved. But anyways, this lady, she got up there and said, it's terrible, you guys need to change this, this, and this. And so they asked her, would you be willing to help us put together a display? And she said, yes, I'd be willing to help put together a display. So she put a display together for them so that they could have that a better look, something that would be more appealing for people, that would be inviting and encouraging to want to actually buy that seafood and the fish and things. So she helped them put together the whole thing. And of course, you got to realize what's going to happen when she is there doing this. She's going to tell all of her friends to come check this out when it debuts. So the amount of people in the neighborhoods that were hearing about it and wanting to come out and check it out was massive. And it was because they got customers involved in their business. So those are some great things that you can do as well to make sure that you can keep those customers actively involved with you. That'll help a lot. So seeking feedback is great. Have ways to seek feedback, have opportunities to talk to your customers, whether it's on a survey, whether it's in a group, whether it's via an email or something, or correspondence or a message, or even in person, being able to sit down and talk with them and ask them questions and see what they like and don't like and get their information and advice. All that's going to help your business to be better. So that's a great reason to keep in touch with your customers as well. And I found a statistic that was really interesting as well that I would highly recommend considering, a couple of them in fact, that from some different sources that talk about this customer experience. Okay, a customer experience is not your marketing. Your marketing isn't customer experience. That's marketing. That's different. You're selling. You're trying to convince them to come in and buy from you. Customer experience is the experience that a customer has when they use your product or service, after they use your product or service, their thoughts afterwards, their interactions with your locations or your stores, your websites, your social media, your employees, all those little touch interactions, all that stuff around you is a big difference. That all helps in that customer experience. Then they found this survey here. It says, let's see, 86% of buyers will pay more for better customer experience. They believe that 1% of the businesses they work with actually provide the customer experience they want. So that tells me as a business owner that most likely all my competitors are terrible at this. Okay? Whether it's a product or a service business or anything, they're terrible at this. You want to improve this. What can we do to make this a better customer experience? What are the things we can change in the store maybe? How the store is laid out, the kind of ambiance that is there, color schemes, those things that would help make the customers feel better. I mean, this is the whole reason why doctors' offices and dentist offices have the soothing music and certain types of more muted colors in there. You know, you never want to walk into a dentist office that has bright red and like yellows and hard contrast colors, because you're going to get upset. You're going to feel a little more anxious about what's going on in there. And, you know, so that's not good. They want you to feel relaxed. They put comfortable chairs. They train their front staff to be very amicable for you. They give you a bottle of water. They do things to help you feel more comfortable while you're there. And that tends to help them have a better experience working with the medical professional. And then that actually helps people with feeling better about that experience, giving you better reviews. Hey, thanks for the hearts. We appreciate that. So look at those things. Everything about what the customer experience is when they work with you, and even afterwards, what do they remember afterwards? All of that's going to help them decide if they come back and if they're going to refer people to you as well. So those make a huge, huge difference in your customer service, that customer experience. So just realize that huge opportunity for your business to get ahead of people. I mean, most businesses just aren't paying attention to their customers. And so the challenge that you have is they have unmet needs. They're not getting taken care of. And so the reality with that is that your competitors are doing the same. They're most likely not paying attention. And so if you start paying attention, they're going to like you more. That's going to make a big, big difference. Huge difference. In fact, here's another statistic that I found that was really interesting. They say by the year 2020, 85% of the interaction between your customers and your business will be done without a person. That's amazing that it's not human. It's not human-to-human interactions that are going to be the main way that we interact with our customers. So the thing that you want to realize about that is your website. Do you have a mobile app or software for your business? Do you have social media sites? Are huge. They're going to help you with your business. So make sure that you know what those are like. What is the customer experience with those? And realize that those channels, messaging apps, and other things are the more preferred way of dealing with people. So those are the things that are going to be very, very important for your business. So just realize that. If they have a bad customer service, you go to your, let's say someone goes to your Facebook page and you don't even respond to them. They ask you a question and there's nothing there. That's part of that customer experience. And so they're going to have a bad experience with you because they're going to remember, oh, I went and asked them a question and nobody responded. So that business isn't paying attention on social. So I'm going to have to go talk to them in person or call them or whatever. You know, if your messages go unanswered and those things, that's not good. So just realize all of those touch points, and especially the non-personable ones like emails, like text messaging or Facebook Messenger or WeChat or other direct messaging opportunities or your social media and other things, all of those you need to make sure that you are keeping an eye on and that they reach those expectations of timeliness, of response, what kind of responses are we doing with those. All those things make a huge difference these days. Everybody's busy. Everybody's just totally distracted with lots of stuff going on. So text messaging back and forth or messaging on social media back and forth is just a faster, easier way to get things done rather than be on hold and talking and waiting and things with your business. So you need to be prepared for that. And just realize that those are very important things to help with your business. Now, I think there's a really interesting point with this too. The Outdoor Retailer Show was just happening over the weekend in Denver, Colorado. And there was some statistics that actually came out that showed that the tastes and likes and interests of more of the millennial type groups shifted in the last year. They changed. And because of that change, now the whole industry is reeling from that change. So this brings us to another important point, which is market trends. Do you pay attention to your market trends? And I'll tell you this, there's two ways to know that markets are changing and trending. One is to stay on top of news and information and keep in touch with your customers and what they're expecting. What is the next thing that they want? What's the other challenges that are happening around the industry that you're involved in with them? Or you wait till it hits your bottom line. Then you realize something has moved, something has changed. Why isn't this product selling anymore? It was selling great before. Now we got to do something about it. And this is what the outdoor retailers have found recently: is that the type of clothing, the reasons that people buy clothing for outdoors experiences has changed. It was moving into a more specialized area, and now it's shifted back the other way, where they don't want so much specialized clothing. They want really good clothing that works, but they don't want to have to pay a ton of money. They don't want super specialized stuff that they can't use in many different situations. If you're a company that makes coats that are really, really warm, awesome. But that's going to limit your ability to sell to the cold times and places that are cold. So they want something to have the ability to be warm, but they also want it to be able to be nice, to wear as a light jacket. So they want versatility. They don't want these specialized products anymore. And so there's a lot of retailers that actually have a ton of inventory of specialized products that they've made that they're having a hard time selling. So the more you can pay attention to your customers and the trends that they're going through and experiencing, the better. So stay in touch with your customers, stay right there with them so that you know exactly what are the pains, what are the challenges your customers are facing, and how can you solve them? How can you be there as a resource and help them in their business? The more you do that, the more that you take care of your customers' needs. And it doesn't mean you have to solve every problem for your customers. You could just be a resource for them. So if you sell shoes, that's awesome. Maybe you can give some recommendations on types of socks or other types of gear that might work well for those types of activities that they're buying your shoes for. So you just want to be a good resource to them, and that'll help them keep coming back also. So look for those opportunities. Stay in touch with your customers. Make sure that you can utilize those your opportunities to be with your customers to help you even more in your business. Those will all make a massive, massive difference in taking care of your business and getting ahead of your competitors. So thanks for joining us today. If you have any other questions about dealing with your customers, what are great ways to do customer validation, and if you have new products coming out, this is especially important to stay in touch with your customers so that your new products do not flop. That's important. So if you have other questions, let us know. Reach out our hashtag SMRTTV or come find us on social media. We'd love to help answer your questions and make sure that you have a good experience using social media for your business.